Hi, this is Sabrina from Sabrina's Crafty Home Decor. Today we are going to make some bud vases. So somebody already asked me on the last one I did for a tutorial, which I didn't have, so I'm going to try to do one now. So what I've done here is my dad has a glass cutter, so I had him cut the tops off of these. These were Dr. Pepper bottles. You don't have to do that, but I did because of the look I'm going for. It's going to be like an old, burnt, old bottle look. Like a bottle you pulled out of the fire pit, is kind of what we're going for. So I wanted the broken top look. So anyway, so I had him cut the tops off of these for me. And you want to pre-paint your glass with some kind of a primer. You're going to paint over that primer with chalk paint. And chalk paint needs something to adhere to, otherwise it will chip off. So you want to coat it with some primer. And as you can see, like, I wasn't real meticulous. It's not perfect because I'm going to paint over it. There's some, a little bit of stuff there that kind of I touched by accident. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just need a thin coat. See, this, I got too close with the spray paint, so it dripped. So I just wiped it off and then sprayed a little bit over it. So you're just giving it a primer. So all that those flaws are going to be hidden. You're not going to see this. This is just to help your paint stick. Anyway, so I went ahead and gave these a coat. I peeled the labels off, and then I used rubbing alcohol and cotton swabs, or cotton pads, to clean off the sticky stuff that was left behind. Okay, so you're also going to want your Mod Podge. I prefer matte. It's a little less glossy than the other. Your Waverly Chalk Plaster paint, Burnt Umber by Apple Barrel. I use this dark antiquing wax by Behr. Or you can use, if you have the Waverly Antique Wax, you can use that as well. You're going to want some sponges, round sponges, because we're going to dab the paint on or pounce it on. Some thin jute twine, brass keys if you have them. That's my little trash can over here. Yeah, I just finished another project, so hence the paint on my hands. Your hot glue gun. I like to use black ink in some areas. It helps give it an old burnt look. Also, some kind of scrapbook paper that you're going to put on your bottle. I've got some, old music sheets here, already stained. Look like they could have been through a fire. They're pretty grungy and dirty looking. I've got some old newspaper clippings already stained up, so they already look old. I just have to decide what I want to use. And I have some floral pictures here. If I do that, I might end up doing like a light green background instead of the old burnt look like I was going to do. I don't know yet. Who doesn't love sunflowers? Some roses. And some wildflowers with some lemons. So I'm going to play around with these and decide which ones I want to go with. I've only got 4 bottles, but I had a whole pile here that I liked, and I'm just not sure which ones I want to pick. So I'm going to go through these, figure out which ones I want to use, and then I will show you how to paint. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So I settled on 5 here. I'm kind of going back and forth. I really wish I could do these live to get you guys' opinions, but I settled on that one. But I didn't like the coverage. These smaller ones they only wrap about halfway around the bottle, which leaves a lot of back. I mean, they're not going to be plain by any means, so I guess it's really not a problem, but I wanted a little more coverage, so I tried to find longer ones that could wrap. So sheet music, I found a map I have with Italy, let's see, and I might do this one or this one. I haven't decided yet. I kind of like them both. I'm kind of leaning towards the rose, but we'll see. Okay, so I'll figure that out as we go along. So what we're going to do here, I just put a tiny little bit of burnt umber in there, not much. And I'm using my large sponge, and I'm going to get it all in, or all over. I didn't put much in here. Matter of fact, I'm not sure I put enough, but we'll see. Okay, so I've got that. I'm going to dab some of it. All right, you can see there's not a lot there. Then I'm going to open my Waverly plaster, if I can. Sorry, I know I'm moving the camera a lot. Oh, my son to the rescue. Hold on. Oh, never mind. He's going to open it for me. Okay. And I'm going to dip. Pour a good amount in there. Thank you. He opened the bottle for me, so I could stop making you guys dizzy. I'll say thank you. He's freezing over there. Needs a haircut. Okay, so, alright, so now I've got burnt umber on there already, and now I'm going to dip it in the Waverly plaster. Reason being is because some of that burnt umber is going to come through and give it kind of a dirty look. So I wiped some of that off, and it's going to give the bottle a dirty look. Can you hold this for me, please, for a minute? I'm not going to do the whole thing on the camera. Okay, so as you see, it's starting to come through, and I'm going to keep blotting. Okay, can the camera see the dirty spots?
Yeah.
Okay, so you see those dirty spots? That's what we want. So just a little bit of burnt umber, and as you see right here, not a lot of it came off. So, and then dip it in the in the plaster, and then just start, and you see how dirty it looks, and just keep dabbing. So I'm going to do the rest of these off camera. Okay, so I've got 3 done. I'm on my last one, but I found I did not use enough burnt umber. So what I've been doing is, I've never done this many bottles before, so I definitely ran out. So what I did was I added a little spot of burnt umber. I'll do it one more time, just so you can see. Okay, it's probably more than what I need, but because I only got 1 bottle left. Anyway, just pat it around, roll it in it, you know, get it in the, you know, you want the sponge to soak it up. Okay, but you don't want anything so you can't really see it on the sponge. So, which means the sponge soaked it up, which is what I want. And then I still have a good amount of stuff in there, so I got a good glob of it on there, because, okay. And then start tapping again. So if you find that your bottles are not dirty enough, that's how you can fix that. So just to show you how dirty mine look, you can see I got my finger stuck. Let's see, better lighting. You can see it looks like it's dirty, like there's patches of dirt on the bottle itself. Here's another one. This one's even better. Okay. So that's how we make them look dirty. Alright, I'll be back. Okay, I think I'm going to start with this. All 4 bottles are done. I think I'm going to do the first one with the map. So, but you want to tear the edges, or all the way around. We want it torn, we don't want it cut, because then you'll see the lines, and we don't want that. Here. Yeah. Okay, I had to do that off camera because I only have one hand. So you see I've torn the edges. Okay, that'll help it blend better. A straight edge you're going to see clearly. So this is going to help it blend. The other thing I'm going to do, I forgot to tell you, you're going to need a lighter. I'm going to burn the edges. Okay, so you burn a little bit and then pat it, and then burn a little bit and then pat it, because you don't want the whole thing catching on fire. You just want to burn the edges. If you get some of the edge, well, I'll show you. If some of the edge is a bit charcoal, do not pick off the charcoal, leave it there, because we want the burnt look. So okay, I'm gonna burn this and then I'll show it to you again. Okay, edge is burnt. So be careful with this. You can easily burn your fingers. So it's gonna, you know, you burn a little bit. As soon as you start to burn a little bit, you're gonna see a little bit of fire, blow it out, and then immediately start patting, or it'll continue to burn on down, and you don't want to lose, you know, a lot of your picture. So, but you can see the burnt edges. That's what we want. Okay, and now I'm gonna flip it over, and I'm gonna paint the back of it with Mod Podge. And then I will attach it to this, and then I'll come back. Okay, so I now have it on. So you put it on like a sticker. So the reason I put the Mod Podge on the back of it instead of directly on the bottle is because sometimes I like to, I'm working with glass here, and sometimes I like to kind of blend. So like here, I'll just go ahead and blend some of it just to show you, but I got to get most of this paint off. So if I want to kind of blend some of the edge, like if there's an edge that's a little too straight and doesn't quite look right, to blend it in a little bit better, you can pat some paint on it. I don't want to blend this actually. Oh no, I got paint on it. That's okay, we'll fix it. Anyway, you can pat some paint on, and sorry, give me a second. It's alright. I'm going to put some antique wax on it anyway, and that's going to get rid of some of that white. So anyway, we will, so if you need to blend some of this edge, then you can pat it. Now if you do that on top of Mod Podge, it's going to cause it to crack, and we're not looking for a cracked look with this project. So Mod Podge on glass causes the paint to crack. So it doesn't work with wood. With wood, you need a white glue, like an Elmer's glue, school glue. But on glass, it does cause it to crack. So normally on most projects, I Mod Podge the project, and then I put the sticker on, or the paper on. But for this particular project, I didn't want that, just in case I needed to blend in any edges. Because I don't want it to crack. So you just paint the back of it and then stick it on like a sticker. So, and then we will Mod Podge over it in a little bit anyway, just to seal everything in, because this is paper here we're working with. But as you're putting it on, beware of, you know, if you're using a glass bottle, you know, there's seams. So beware of your seams, beware of where they're at, so that you can put your label on, you know, between the seams. And, you know, try to, mine's not exactly even, and that's okay, but, you know, as even as you can. You don't want it like a seam dead center in the front. So you want your seams on the sides. And this still works because I still have paper over both seams, so my front is going to be right here. So, okay. Next step is we are going to get the antique wax out and wax it up a little bit. And I'll be right back for that. Okay, so I got my brush here. I'm just going to kind of brush it. And, well, first I'm going to, so we're going to just antique it a little bit, you know. Just kind of, this is hard to do with one hand. Okay, so you're just going to antique it up a little bit around the edges, around the bottle, you know. You just want to paint some antique on. What I don't want is these lines right here, where you can see where I hit the brush on it. Anyway, and across the picture, you're just going to paint some antique wax on and wipe some of it back off again. Gives it even more of a grungy, you know, old look. And I'm going to do that and be right back. Okay, now I have grunged it up some more with some antique wax. So this area here caught a lot of wax, which is fine. I think I'm going to make that actually a rust spot, which I will show you. You're going to need ground cinnamon and paprika for your rust. So don't worry about any spots you don't really like. You can always rust them up and, you know, make it work for you. So, okay. Alright, now I'm going to, let's see, I guess I'm going to set this aside, and I'm going to find a key that I want to work with. Also, I'm going to wrap this around here using my glue gun. I'm going to go several times around just the neck. So I'm going to do several times around the neck and hot glue that on. And then I'm going to burn it so that it actually looks burnt. So I'm going to do that, and then we'll get back on and show you how to do the key. Actually, I take that back. I think I'm going to Mod Podge it at this point. And then we'll put the rust over top of the Mod Podge, and then we'll Mod Podge again over the rust spots, just over those spots. Reason being is because we need to Mod Podge the entire bottle, just to help protect it in case from moisture. Mod Podge, the one I have, is not waterproof, but it is moisture resistant. So these are technically for fake flowers, but in case somebody does try to put something wet inside our water or spills something wet on it, the Mod Podge will help protect it. If we Mod Podge the whole thing after we rust it, some of that cinnamon and paprika could come off and cover more of the bottle than what we want. So we're going to Mod Podge the whole bottle, and then we'll rust it, and then we'll just go over just the spots with more Mod Podge. That way, if any comes off, it's not a big deal. It'll just be in the right area where it's supposed to be. Okay, so I did a couple things I didn't like on this off camera. So I Mod Podged the whole thing. But then I decided to use some black ink to give it a little more burnt spots, and I ended up not liking it. But it's too late, it's there. I can't take them off. So what I did end up doing, this is actual burn mark. While I was burning, I used my lighter here, and while I was burning the rope, I let it hit some of the bottle as well, and as you can see, it burnt the bottle. And I gave it another burn mark here, one here, and one here, and another one down here. Anyway, a couple random places I burnt the bottle. Again, you know, we're looking for the burnt bottle look. What I don't like is these dots here, so I'll probably put some rust there to hide. Kind of looks polka dotted and I don't like it. Anyway, so I'll probably put some rust here to hide a couple of those. And you can see I burnt the rope. You don't want the rope on evenly. You know, I crisscrossed some of it, as you can see. I think you can see. Anyway, I crisscrossed some of it. There's gaps. You don't want it on there perfectly. So, alright, now on to the key. Let me pick a key and I'll be right back. Okay, I decided to go with this one. It's just a brass key. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to pour me a little bit of burnt umber here. And I'm going to use my small sponge. Don't need a lot, and I'm going to paint the key. Okay. All right. That's one side. Now, while the paint is still wet, I am going to add some cinnamon and some paprika. Now the paprika I don't want everywhere, just on spots. So it's got two different colors of rust going here. Okay. Now I'm going to lift the key, flip it over, and do the same on this side. And then I'm going to Mod Podge it as well to seal in the rust or the spices. And anyway, I'm gonna actually blow this dry. I wanted to show you, so you see I probably lost some of my seasoning on the other side because I didn't dry it first. So I'm gonna do the same on this side. I'm going to do cinnamon kind of all over it, and then I'm just going to do a couple patches, you know, of the paprika, just to give it a little bit of a red hue here and there. Okay. I'm going to shake off the excess. I'm going to dry it with my heat gun, my heat tool here. And then I'm going to paint it with Mod Podge, and then I'll be right back. Okay, and here is my rusty key. Okay, so there's that. Alright, now to rest the bottle, what you're going to do is you're going to take your sponge, pick your spot. I want to cover some of that there. I've already got some burnt umber here. So you can take some burnt umber, and I'm going to dab this area like that. Okay. And then I'm going to sprinkle cinnamon on it. Hold on, sorry. I'm trying to do this with one hand. Alright, sprinkle some cinnamon on it. And some paprika. I'm going to pat it a little bit. Blow on it. And there's my rust spot. I'm going to do that in a couple more places. And then I'm going to Mod Podge just that spot, because it's going to spread a little bit. So I'm going to Mod Podge just that spot and any other rust spot I put on here. Okay, so here's my rust. I put some at the top, some on the back. Rather large piece of rust down there. So I said the back isn't going to be plain by any means, but alright, so now we just have the placement of the key, which I put on a little string or jute twine, and then what I'll do is I want the key to figure out which direction you want the key to face. I kind of want it to go that way, I think. You know, there's a shadow on it. So, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of hot glue, kind of like almost under this rope right here, and shove this up inside there so that it hangs. So I'm going to do that and come right back. Okay, so the key is now on, and I'm just going to burn that just a little bit because this rest of the rope is burnt, but this one is not. So to blend it in, and voila, we're done. Now this isn't my favorite. I liked the other bottle I did better. I think it's the map that's throwing me off. I don't really like the map. But what the black ink, I wish I hadn't have done that, but I did. But you know, the thing is about this stuff or these crafts is that I have found that a lot of things that I didn't like, I thought was a mistake or looked terrible, ended up being somebody else's favorite thing. So, you know what? I'm not going to judge it. It's not exactly my favorite one, but might be somebody else's. So, somebody out there that's crazy about maps, I guess. But you don't know till you try it. And like I said, somebody else may absolutely love it. So, anyway, but this is how you create a old burnt bottle for a Bud vase. So I will do the rest of these, and then I will come back and show you how they turned out, and you can judge which one you like best. So here are the final ones. I did end up using the flower and the little girl. This one does have a key, but I rusted up 4 keys and then lost the 4th one. Don't ask me what I did with it. I can't find it. So I'm going to rust up another one for this one. So this one's missing the key, but it will have one. So another thing I wanted to show you here is as I was painting on the Mod Podge, some of the burnt pieces of paper came off and spread on the bottle. See? But I left them. I decided I actually liked that. It just adds to the old burnt look in my mind. So I just left them like that. So there's my rust. I put a couple rust spots on the top. I like how that one turned out. And then here's the rose. I think it turned out really well. And then the map you guys already saw. I threw some roses in there just to... And then here is the music. So, there they are. Don't mind the crafts in the back, some more stuff I'm working on. So, all in all, I think they turned out pretty well. As you can see, I didn't use the black ink on the other ones like I did on this one because I just didn't like it. But, you might. I did, however, use black ink around the top. So what you see on the top that almost gives it a metallic look, it's black ink. So I did do it on the tops of all the bottles because it did help with the burnt look up there and broken look. So anyway, so I did use it on the very tops, but that's the only place I used it on the other bottles. So, and so there you go. There they are. I hope you enjoyed them. I am in need of a stand for my phone or my tablet if I'm going to do tutorials, because it's trying to hang on to the phone and show you one-handed is not going to work. But at least there's this one for now. And I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, you can always reach out. Just PM me. And I'll be happy to help. All right. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.